he had charisma, but it's funny how people get upset with Cena because Cena can't wrestle. I'm like, if you're gonna say
Cena,
Cena can't wrestle,
Cena,
then I need you to
Cena
watch
is
The Rock because The Rock
Cena.
is not much better. Like effort, yes, works hard, athletic. You can't knock
Cena
him
was
for in
stiff as shit. Cena is stiff as shit. I see him fight. It's hilarious. I'm like, what? He's not a wrestler. I don't even know how he got into wrestling.
It makes two
The
of
Rock,
us.
The Rock, I actually can agree with you. He was athletic, like kind of like he was a sports guy, but I don't, but he kind of looked like he could wrestle though. Like I guess
Yeah,
because all the effort, the side crap he put into it,
yeah,
because he wasn't really like agile. He couldn't jump off ropes. He didn't do nothing special. You're right about that.
yeah. It's like
He
he
did.
had the charisma
He
to
did
look good.
extra. That's what he did. He just did the extra stuff. You're right, because he's not. I give that to you. He's definitely not a top 5 wrestler.
Yeah, because when you think about like to me, when I think of my favorite wrestlers, yeah, when I look at guys like Cena, The Rock, maybe a Batista, a Hogan, what were their great matches? Every great match that you pull for them, I almost can guarantee it's against another great wrestler. When I say great wrestler, great in-ring wrestler. Whereas with the guys that
Mm-hmm.
are on my top 5, they have the expression in wrestling. You put them in a room, in the ring with a broom, and they could wrestle a 5-star match because they're that good. Like they can carry the other person to a great match.
I got you.
So, and then when they wrestle against each other, it's like fucking orgasmic in the ring. So yeah, it's my top 5.
This was curious. Now, I guess let's get into football.
All right, from greatness to the AFC South. Should be a very interesting division.
Yeah, it will be. So let's see. We have the Jaguars as the truth, our last Super Bowl winner, the defending champion. We got
Got TJ
Titans
with the
as big
Texans.
time. TJ coming back as the Texans. I forgot about that. He was the Texans last year, so he comes back. He's had unfinished business.
Yep.
And we have USBO, who's the coach, and I think he was not in last year, Madden, but I think he was in the year before, but it was only towards the end, so we got a short stand of him. So hopefully he's here for the long run. We get to see what he's about.
Is he a member of Ghost and Friends? Can't remember.
Yep, he's a member of Ghosts and Friends.
Okay. I just need to know so when it comes time to trade with, when I see a trade with him and Ghost, I know to vote no.
So, where do you want to start in this division?
I want to start with the team that this division is really, really interesting because there were 2 of the teams I had on my top 5.
Texans and Jags?
Texans and Titans.
Oh, Titans. Oh, they are an up-and-coming team. I like them, too.
So we'll start with Tennessee since that's my second favorite team. Obviously at quarterback, you got Marcus, the ultimate dual threat guy, 88 speed, 90 excel, pretty solid throw power, 89, decent accuracy. Short is 86. That's what he did in Oregon too. The short stuff with the Titans because they've had issues with finding receivers to actually complement that run game. Running back, a little bit of controversy when the top 5 running backs came out. You've got DeMarco Murray at 91. The backup, though, is very, very capable and is going to be a star soon, I believe, especially with that offensive line. Derrick Henry is 79. A little slower, but he is much harder to bring down. And Murray has good hands. Obviously, you got Delaney Walker at tight end. If he was in a bigger market, he'd probably get more attention than what he does. He's a 93 overall, not bad for his age. 33 is 85 speed, 84 excel. Good catch.
And you know what's crazy? You said you bring that up, Delaney Walker. You know, some people don't even realize how good he is. You're so 100% on with him. Like, some people do not even know how good that guy is.
Oh, yeah. He's been doing it for a couple years. Yeah, it's the lone really viable option in that offense in the passing game. Still keeps producing. And at receiver, best receiver is Eric Decker. Odd, but no, whatever. It's a
But he,
1 year deal for him, so the chance for him to kind of
mm-hmm,
show what he can do, try to get a cash in
mm-hmm.
on a bigger deal. They also have Rashard Matthews, not bad, 27 years old, decent speed, but the real addition for them is going to be Corey Davis.
I wanted Philly to get him, so that was my number one guy. I don't care about John Ball speed. That dude's a baller. He kind of reminded me of a T.O. type, but yes,
Mm-hmm.
Corey Davis is that guy. I think he's going to be a superstar day one.
I tell you right now, my list for the Bucks first round was very short. OJ
Mm-hmm.
Howard
He
number
was on it,
one
huh?
and Corey Davis number
Mm-hmm.
two. Outside that, I didn't give a
Mm-hmm.
damn who they drafted. Other than obviously not a kicker, but I was really like those were the guys that I wanted. I had them marked early in the season, and as I saw more Corey Davis, like damn, this guy is
Yes.
good.
Yes.
Everyone
Yes.
kept talking about
Yes.
Mike Williams at Clemson and these other receivers. Like, no,
Yes.
this is the guy.
Yes. That dude. And because too, he wouldn't then go to a bigger school, but then he go to a D2 school.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care. That man can play football. He was the best receiver
D2
in the
and
draft. I
D1,
don't
like he
care.
is really, 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 really good. So much
Mm-hmm.
potential. And the thing that's
So
nice about
much.
the Titans, they also have Taylor and Tajay Sharp. So they've got three young receivers that hopefully you can build with. Tyrod
Yep.
Taylor is a speedster slot guy, return guy. Maybe he can be a slot receiver in this offense in the future. Don't know. But let's be honest. At the end of the day, even with all those guys on offense,
Offensive line.
it's the offensive line. That offensive line is
Probably
just fucking
maybe the
amazing.
probably the second best offensive line behind Dallas. Maybe Oakland. But they're in the discussion.
Yeah. So I'm looking at it right now. You got 86 right tackle, 88 left tackle,
Mm-hmm.
81 left
Mm-hmm.
guard. Center, I believe, is 83. That'd be correct. Right guard, 80.
Yep.
Dominant.
And they're all young. They're all young.
So you got all that on offense, and guess what? Defense is not bad. But it is definitely the weaker part of the team. The defensive line, one of my favorites, Jarrell Casey. Very, very solid
Underrated.
guy.
He's a good solid guy. Yeah, he's solid. Really solid.
Yep, I know they got what's that guy's name? I don't want to pull it up because I should know what his name is. Daquan Jones, I believe, is the other defensive end. Not bad. Defensive tackle is a little bit of a weakness, but I think it's something that they'll be fine with over time. Got
Yeah, they're in
Morgan.
that 3-4. So
Yep. Morgan on the outside on one side, Arakpo on the other side, which is a good signing for them. So good pass rushers on the edge. Wesley Woodyard in the middle. Avery Williamson. Signed Logan Ryan in the offseason because they needed corners because they can't defend anyone.
yeah, it was
So
a
you
big
got
time
him,
signing.
Bryce McCain, who's I mean, he can't be great because I saw them play last year. But Dory Jackson, the guy they drafted, he has potential. 92 speed, 94 acceleration.
Yeah,
He's a great zone
the
corner.
USC kid.
Yep,
Mm-hmm.
should have a higher rating. I guess since he didn't get drafted by Dallas, he's not that important.
He got
And
picked before them too. So annoying.
yep, and
He
they're capable at
he's a
safety. Not a bad squad.
That's why it is. Like you said, they were in my discussion too. If I didn't get the Eagles, I was thinking about this team because they got youth everywhere, and they're already good. Then you got the quarterback of the future. You got a weapon, Corey Davis. You got, like I said, top 3 offensive line in the game, and they're young, so they're only going to get better. And the defense is pretty good too. This team is solid, really solid.
Oh yeah, definitely, and especially the way Big Time would like to play. I mean, you look at coming from Dallas. Talking about having 4,000 yards between Des Bryant and DeMarco. I'm sorry, DeMarco Zeke last year. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, Corey Davis isn't bad. You should have time to find him wherever he is on the field, but you literally can just tag teams with that running game with Murray and that's just scary. Murray and Henry, the things you have to do to try to stop the run against that team, that really is going to open up the passing game. If he can pass the ball, he's going to have a good season.
Yep. And this too, because as we were talking about in the previous pod, the most important part on the field is the goal line. So get this team inside the 10.
That's 6.
You can pound it in with some running backs. You have 2 bruiser backs who is super hard to tackle. The first guy's not going to get him. And also, too, something sneaky about this team, because their running game is so good, and if you get inside the 10, I know they're going to run, and I can't stop it anyway. But, yes, leaves it open. And Mariota, if he gets on the edge, it's over. With that 88 speed, that's 7.
Yeah, just think about that, what you said. The fact that you can run the ball. You have one of the best tight ends, one of the best red zone tight ends you could have in Delaney Walker, and the fact that he can block. So it makes play action even more dangerous. And then you also have the fade to Davis as an option.
Yep.
That red zone, just get to the 20, get to the 10. Any goal-to-goal situation needs to be a touchdown.
Yep. And it's terrifying. Because, like you said, you have to put 9 people in the box. And I don't even know if I'm going to stop them there, but guess what? If you play action, because I'm going to sell out on the run against Tennessee. If you play action and get out on the edge, unless you have like a great player like Luke Kuechly who can read that, you're in trouble. Because like I said, I'm personally going to sell out because I know it's going to be a run, and it's going to be super hard to stop that run game.
Exactly. Yep.
Let's see. We can move over to the other team that was in your top 5, so you could talk about the Texans.
Oh, God, that defense.
Yes, sir.
Oh, my God, that defense. When I was looking at the teams and I was looking at the ratings, even I was just...
The question is that offense ready?
Yeah, we'll see. Well, let's start with that. The quarterback... obviously, that's been a little bit of an issue with Tennessee. Houston.
Yep, for the last years upon years.
But it looks like they have a capable rookie, Deshaun Watson. Great run at Clemson. 84 speed. Yep. He has decent throw power as well, 88. His accuracy is 84 short and upper 70s for mid and deep. Decent play action running and throw on the run running rating. So that will be big. Also returning, you have Lamar Miller. Speedster still, 92 speed, 92 excel. One of the best dual threat running backs that you should have, but his catch is not as high as I think it could be. It's 66. I feel like it should be a little bit higher, but still not a bad running back. You got Deontay Foreman back there as well, Akeem Hunt for speed and knowing how TJ likes to play. I'm sure that he will find a way to get him in the offense.
Speed.
Yeah, they have a lot of it. And then you have the receivers. So I'm just going to look at the roster. Their top 6 receivers all have a minimum of 90 speed.
Yep.
DeAndre Hopkins, monster. Will Fuller, monster. 95 speed, 93 excel. Braxton Miller, speed. Jaleen Strong,
what's his?
91, 92.
Okay.
Strong is 91, 90. You got Shaq Hill, 90, 93. McCarron, 92, 94. Those young development guys that have, but really, of course, we all know that offense is going to be centered around Hopkins and Will Fuller. Fuller is on the verge of breaking out. Hopkins, about as reliable as you can get as a receiver. He puts up great numbers with shitty quarterback play every season.
And not to start up of fuss, but my honest opinion, not because I'm an Eagles fan, I'm objective. Odell Beckham is great. Not arguing that. He plays in a big market. He plays in New York. He gets all the attention. He plays with a better quarterback who takes chances.
Mm-hmm.
I think DeAndre Hopkins is better than him. He never really had a decent quarterback, and he always puts up numbers. He's never talked about. Remember when Odell had that great one-hand catch and he became Odell?
Mm-hmm.
If you guys look, DeAndre Hopkins might have had a better catch, if not the same catch as Odell Beckham had before Odell Beckham. In the middle of the field, crazy one-hand catch. He had to reach back and grab it. If y'all get a chance, YouTube that. I don't know why that was never talked about. I don't know why that wasn't ran on Sports Center just like they did Odell. But DeAndre Hopkins is a problem. Go ahead, Sam.
I'll even go one further. You know how much I like Mike Evans, and he's put up great numbers since he's been in Tampa. I think if you swap him with DeAndre Hopkins, I think that offense is better.
Oh, no disrespect to Mike because he's a great receiver.
He's really good.
I agree with you 100%.
Has less to work with, and he is just really, really good. Just unfortunate for him that he's stuck in a shitty situation. Kind of how it was for Andre his last couple of years with the Texans.
Yeah.
Decent tight end with, I don't even know how to say his last name. I hate it, but he's decent. CJ, we'll just go with his first name. Fedorowicz, I think is how you say his name, but I'm
looking at it right now. It is, man, I'll butcher it terrible. I'm bad with pronunciation. Fidget.
And then the definite weakness of this team, which kind of a
offensive line.
Yep.
Offensive line and quarterback.
Yep. Right tackle 72, right guard 72, center's decent at 78. Decent awareness.
Not decent when the whole offensive line switches awareness.
Yeah, left guard 71, and your strength is the left tackle 86. So you just kind of, I got to do is bring pressure from the other side. They'll be looking for offensive linemen in the future, but let's be honest, we know that's not the strength of this team. The strength of this team is its defense.
Yes, sir.
So, the obvious, the god among boys.
In my opinion, best defensive player in the NFL.
Won't argue it. Mr. Watt, 98 overall, 97 strength. I think the only defender with higher strength than him is Sue.
Sue, yep, it is from 98.
Awareness 88. His catch is 78. Hell, that's better than some receivers I've seen on the game. And he's
better than Nelson Aguilar hands I've seen in real life.
His tackle is 93. His jump is 87. The only thing to worry about is his injury being at 85, but we know that. But he does everything well. Stamina 95, toughness 98. He's not coming off the field. He's a monster.
Who are you talking about? Clowney?
No, JJ Watt.
Which one are you talking about? Clowney?
Huh? I'm talking about Watt. I haven't got to Clowney yet.
Oh, okay. You ain't get it. Okay, I'm sorry.
I'm trying to find him really quick here. Because I think they have Matt linebacker. Okay, I know he's on here. Where are you at? There you are. Jadeveon Clowney. 86 overall. 87 speed, 89 excel. Strength 79. High awareness. Obviously, we know he's a great pass rusher. Pretty solid tackle. Very athletic. One on one side, one on the other. If you want to be evil, just put them on both on the same side to feel good luck blocking those guys.
And I got to break in on Clowney because he's a guy I'm super proud of because coming out, he was supposed to be Lawrence Taylor, and because of injuries and everything else, he didn't meet those expectations, and he started really slow. And then he was just, like I said, it wasn't fair because he was hurt, but playing with Watt, and he just didn't really do anything. But when JJ went down,
oh my God,
Clowney came into his own. Like, even that rate of 86, I think is not enough. He should at least be a 90. But I don't mind it because that was his first year, but he was one of the most dominant defenders in the league. Like, even though Khalil Mack, who was in the same draft class, is better, Clowney put himself on the map to one of the best defenders in the league, up and coming. Finally, his real athleticism showed. And I can't wait to see him and JJ Watt together. Like you said, put on both sides, put one on the other side. It's that defense is going to be scary with them two.
Yep, that's the first thing I do when you line up. Look for both of them, and then adjust accordingly. Like, the fact that what you said, the fact that when JJ went down, he just came onto the scene. It's like had his breakout moment. Keep that up.
I didn't think he was going to do it.
Dominant. That is going to be scary. They're already the number one defense in the NFL last year, and it's just crazy to think about. You get a healthy JJ Watt back, how much better they can be. Oof. And your other linebackers, you've got Bernardrick, McKinney, Brian Cushing. They got a pretty solid group of linebackers. Outside of that, Whitney.
Whitney Mercy, he's an 87 overall. Solid bet. Only 27.
Yep. Kind of disappointed that Jonathan Joseph there in the secondary. I mean, I know he's older, but I thought he should get a little bit higher rating than 83. But, he's still a very solid corner.
I think he's first round pick from, I think, last year or either the year before. I'm not sure. What is he, 25 years old? So he might have been the year before.
Yeah. They'll miss, I forgot. I think he went to Jacksonville, the other corner that they had. They'll miss him.
He did. AJ. He was a hell of a year. But yeah, they'll miss him, but they'll be fine. Their defense.
Yep. It's really all about the front seven. The secondary isn't super great. You got Pleasant at one safety, and you have Hall as the other. But let's be honest. One, those guys are young. You can build with them. And two, the front seven. They get so much pressure. Yep. They stop everything. They stop the run, and they just completely harass the passing game.
And if you're getting to the quarterback, you make your DBs better. Because I can remember the Giants Super Bowl run, the first one.
Mm-hmm.
In 2008, when they won the Super Bowl, their DBs weren't that good. They weren't bums, but kind of like Texans. Texans aren't bums. They're solid. Their D-line made them better than what they were and won the Super Bowl. If you have a front seven, it makes your defense better.
Yeah, I think that playoff run, they beat the Bucs in the wild card in Tampa, and they beat Dallas with T.O. and those guys in Dallas. When you have a front forward where you don't have to blitz and they completely just stop the game, like you can't run, and your quarterback's running for his life. What do you do? What do you do? And this team is built the same way. They can get pressure without really having to blitz and be able to drop 6-7 guys back all the time. Good luck with that.
And the scary thing is, too, their defense can create points, too, because as you were talking about with J.J. Watt is one of the few defensive linemen I've ever seen who his just smarts for the game, his awareness is like no other, because we all know he can get to the quarterback. He has great moves. He freaking always sacking the quarterback, stop the run. He's probably the best at both those. He also bats the ball. He knows when to get his hands up. He knows how to play passing lanes. And not only does he bat it, you do not throw screen his way, because like I said, I wasn't joking about got better hands than Aguilar. He drives back when he picks it off. When the ball hits his hand, he catches it. That's why they had him playing tight end before he got hurt in the red zone. Guy has hands.
Yep, ask Astros. I played him on Madden 16 when he had the Texans. J.J. Watt picked me off twice.
Did he really?
Never will ever run a screen to his side again. He fought through that and got an interception. It's like I saw him, like he won't get there. And I thought, like, I'll be damned. Not only did he get there, he caught the ball. He's going the other way. I got to tackle this guy. Did it twice, and then after that, it's like, we're just not going to throw screens at all. That's how that
went. But, yeah, as you were talking about with the Texans, that's going to be a hard team to play because, one, defense. So it's going to be tough to run against that team. It's going to be tough to pass against that team. It's going to be tough to put up points. And, yes, offensively, they might struggle because of their offensive line, but it's going to be tough, especially with their owner who loves speed. They have a lot of speed on the outside and even the speed at the running back. So that's going to be really something to watch with that team, all that speed.
They're going to spread you out, and they're going to make you work to get stops. Blitzing against speed is always scary because one mistake, can lead to a 70-yard play the other way.
Yes, sir. Going over the top. And what two teams do we have left? We have the Jaguars and the Colts. So let's give the Jags a twirl.
All right. Got Mr. Pick Six at quarterback. Blake Bortles. 77 overall. Apparently, Tim Tebow would be a better option from what I heard earlier today. But, you know, kind of hard when his accuracy is 83, 78, and 75. I'm not sure that any of Tebow's accuracies would be above 70, but that's neither here nor there.
Let me cut you off just to break in this. The topic of Tebow came up earlier in the chat, and I just want to get this out. I know what the deal is. I'll speak for Sam because I know Sam don't want to talk about Tebow. Sam doesn't hate Tebow for all y'all out there because we all know. Let's put it out there. Tebow's a great guy. Whatever. Blah blah blah. All that faith and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
We understand that, but
marry my daughter if I have one.
Because, of course, no doubt, I'll be excited father.
Like shit. Yeah.
he is the fact that because Tebow's a good guy, because he's put on a pedestal, because of the way he acts. All his flaws of him sucking at football is looked over because a defense carried him, and he makes one good throw, and they act like all is good. When case in point, somebody good like say LeBron James. LeBron has never had incidents. There's so many people that's good too. You know, they might not be actually religious, but never had problems with the law. But because of the way Tebow's perceived, and like I said, put on the pedestal, he can do no wrong. Even though we all know he sucks at football, but there's some people that won't say it because of stupid reasons. Because we all know the defense carried him. Let's be honest. But the thing is, you won't get nobody to say it. Them Tebow guys. So it's just the onslaught of Tebow can do no wrong. And if I say something about Tebow, I'm
a terrible person. And you know what? I'll own it. I guess I'm a terrible person.
But
I'm fine with that.
I will say about Tebow, one, he sucked. He was the worst quarterback I've ever seen in my life. But I don't know.
Damn.
I don't know how that defense kept him in a game because he had a game where he completed 2 passes.
2 passes? 2.
So one, I don't know how the defense kept him in the game. 2, I don't even understand how Tebow completed the pass at the end of the game. It was some divine stuff because he'd be like 1 for 38, and then freaking 1 minute to go, he throws a strike, and it's always deep. He throws a deep bomb perfectly in Demaryius Thomas' arms, touchdown. but I enjoyed Tebow. I thought it was hilarious, and I trolled people. But I say one thing: when he came to Philly, I was like, please get this clown out of here. When is he? That's our Tebow topic for the moment. But because somebody asked me to bring it up, and there you go. Sam doesn't hate Tebow; he hates y'all. But continue.
Yeah, because I will acknowledge that he was. I had to see him for all of his years at Florida. I'm a Kentucky fan. I've seen more Tebow than I wanted. A very, very. You can arguably say he's the greatest college quarterback of all time, but there's a difference between college and the NFL. And at the NFL level, I have to judge you on what you, and that's you singular, not team accomplishments, are able to do. And what I saw of him, there is no starting quarterback in the NFL right now that you honestly could say Tim Tebow could come in and do a better job than that. He right now is better than these quarterbacks when... I'm done. I don't want to talk about him now. Never mind. Now it's just making me mad.
I think I could be better than Tebow. I think I am better than Tebow. I might not win as much because my defense ain't gonna, I guess, have God on their back. But Yeah, I'm better. I'm a better quarterback.
I could throw a check
I
down.
can throw.
That automatically makes me better than Tebow. I could throw a check down. I'm gonna tell you right now, Peanut.
Check down.
I tell you right now, Peanut. Me
It
and
will
my
flow over the
roommate.
running back here.
No, me and my roommate. So was it Ephraim, Dylan, MC, Mung? We used to live together. Daniel. When all this Tebow craze was going on, I used to tell him I could be a better quarterback than him. And you're like, no, you can't. Like, they've seen me play football. Like, I have some issues with accuracy, but I understand how to read a defense. And I'm not facing NFL defenses, I understand, but I can read a defense. And I can throw a check down. That has to count for something. Those are two things Tim Tebow cannot do.
Tebow reminded me of high school. You know, in high school, you got one read and what?
Yes, one read. But you know what's funny? You say that, though. You say that, though. But he's a first-round pick. And he goes back to something we were talking about earlier. But yet, was it me, you, and Ghost were talking about, is Lamar Jackson a first-round pick?
Right.
Universally, it's perceived no. For the same reasons that you would say that Tebow shouldn't be, yet people were upset and surprised that Tebow didn't go in the first round.
Because Tebow, once again, it goes back into the Tebow is so pure. Where, because this is the honest truth. If I had a daughter, I honestly would love her to be with somebody like Tebow. No questions asked. And it's that perception of he's a great guy. He deserves this. When it's like Lamar Jackson really hasn't had problems too, but he's not perceived that way. So nobody's going to have an uproar if he's not a first-round pick.
Deshaun Watson.
Mm-hmm.
Works hard, leader of his team, proven winner.
Wins. Mm-hmm.
Not even
not an uproar.
Yep. It's weird because really all you do in the draft these days is you're trying to find flaws. That's what it feels like. With the exception of guys like Andrew Luck, the can't miss guys, everybody else, literally, you are tearing them apart. Trying to say why they should be the first
to pick them apart. Yep.
But we knew what Tebow's flaws were from day one, and those things got overlooked.
Yeah, it was the opposite way around.
This might be not suitable for a cast, so you guys might want to mute this like next minute out. I found something really funny because I remember someone telling me about it a while back. I'm not going to post a video because I don't want to get banned. Even though I don't think it would get me banned, but I don't want to take a chance of losing my orange. I like my creamsicle color now. There was an interview that Gronkowski was doing, and it had Marry, Fuck, Kill, Rex Ryan, Betty White, and Tebow. Peanut, would you want to guess what he assigned to each three?
Repeat it. I want to get a good guess in.
All right. So, 3 people. You got to choose one to marry, one to fuck, one to kill.
Okay.
Okay. Rex Ryan, Betty White, and Tim Tebow.
Who's picking though?
Gronk.
Oh, Gronk. Okay, that's the part I missed. Gronk is crazy.
He is. One of my favorite NFL players.
Fuck, he's going Betty White. Mary, give me the other 2 names again.
Tebow and Rex Ryan.
Mary Tebow, no doubt. Mary Tebow, no doubt. And what's the last one? I know who the last one is. Rex, but what is it?
Kill.
Kill. You gotta kill Rex. He got a foot fetish and he weird.
The funny thing is the foot fetish and the fact that he was the Bills coach when he was asked is why he said they would kill Rex Ryan.
Yeah, he gotta go. He weird.
Yep. Said that he would marry Betty White.
Got that wrong.
And that the reasoning behind him fucking Tebow is because he would take his V card. I was dying laughing when Mason showed me that, because that is a Gronk answer. That is totally a Gronk answer.
Gronk, it's funny because Gronk is the only one that would answer. Can you imagine they come with someone like Tebow or Tom Brady? They was like, get that out of my face.
Yep.
Gronk does not care.
Brady would just
he's
look
the
at you
classic airhead. Yeah, like you're crazy. Tebow, I think Tebow will pull a Bible out his backpack. Bless this child. Bless him.
All right.
Gronk is a classic jock, though. Gronk reminds me of that high school jock who stupid as shit, but just good at football and airheads. Because you know airheads just like to party, have fun, and get girls. That's all Gronk cares about. Party, have fun, get girls. He's a classic high school jock.
The stereotypical fraternity guy.
He is. That's what he is. Because he's an airhead. And he doesn't care. But he's fun.
Yeah.
He's a funny dude.
You have some friends like that at state. Like, I don't understand how this works for you, but it does. But hey, just go to a party and there's like 3 girls just fawning over him. Like, what the fuck? Like, he didn't even do anything.
Oh man, don't get started on ladies, man. Because I hate the ones that's so easy. Because I had to work hard for mine. Yeah, the lady guys, they walk in, oh, they be all over. You like shit. What did he just do?
He doesn't even go to the gym. Shit.
Oh man! While I'm putting in all this work.
Yep. But back on topic, Blake Bortles is your starting quarterback until.
Man, my problem with this is I'm a Blake defender, man, and it's hard to defend this because. You know, every year I say he's good, and I'm saying it again. I think he's a good quarterback. I know the product I see on the field, but I feel like he has the tools, but I can't defend the product. But I still think the potential is there. I'm glad they gave him one more year because I know they were thinking about tossing him.
Yeah.
He has to. I hope he shows something this year, man. I hope he shows something because he has the tools. It's just that, like you said, man, it's always picks going the other way.
Whenever you need him to make that throw, it usually gets made to the defender. The problem, there's one thing I don't like about it. It's something that you brought up with Phillip Rivers. Rivers has an ugly, funky throwing motion, but it works. And Breeze has a little, like, it's not necessarily a natural, it's not the ideal, prototypical throwing motion, but Breeze has his, and it works. Why are you trying to mess with Blake's? Blake's was fine, and now you're trying to mess with it. And since they've been messing with it, then that's when you start to have the lack of production. Like I can tell. If you look back last year when they played the Titans on Thursday Night Football, it was a boring fucking game. But if you look back at it,
I remember that. It was terrible.
They have the ugliest color rush jerseys I've ever seen in my life. Looks like shit on the field.
It does. I can't even defend it. It was. It was. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah. If you look back at that game, though, watch him throw. You could tell he is so focused on trying to throw the ball right, quote unquote. Mm-hmm. He's thinking too much about his mechanics and not just going out there.
Thinking way too much. Yeah, thinking. You could tell he's thinking. Like he's overthinking everything because, like you said, I think they're drilling it in him what he's doing. So you could tell he lost his confidence. Honestly.
Yeah. So I trust though that Truth will fix that, or we'll find someone else. But I think he'll be fine with him. Big arm. Now obviously the running back. You go from Sean McCoy to Leonard Fournette. It's not even fair.
Whoo,
90
man,
speed, 90 acceleration.
AP Junior.
Yep.
He's something else.
His truck is already a 92.
I want to ask you a question though, because Leonard Fournette. Mm-hmm. Who would you take, Leonard or Christian McCaffrey?
As in what? I need more
on your team. No. I'm not even going there because, of course, if you do it like that, you're gonna pick what they're good at. If you just as a player, you drafting, you don't even know your pieces yet. You just got to draft a running back blindly. Okay. Matter of fact, no, not even. not even that. Who do you feel like is going to be the better player? Year one. I'll say that.
I think that Fournette has a legit shot at winning Rookie of the Year. Even with
the bad offensive line.
I think he's going to win Rookie of the Year. If I had to pick right now, I'd say he'd win Rookie of the Year. But to answer what I think you were asking initially, if I was playing Madden, McCaffrey all day because he's a dual threat. I like my dual threat backs. Not that he can't catch because I've seen him do it, but they have different skill sets. For what Truth does, I think it's a great fit because he likes to do his power runs, his zone blocking runs, and he's a one cut guy. And he's really hard to bring down. So if he gets to the second level, it's difficult. McCaffrey it's got to get him in open space, and you can do that in a lot of different ways. I feel like you can do a little bit more with McCaffrey, but it's a perfect match for Truth for sure. He's gonna have a really good season.
You bring up a great point. You bring up a great point, which to this day I still don't get it. Truth, I don't know what tricks you have, but you keep doing your thing, bro. When your running backs, I'm going to compare. Hodge and Ghost had a running back last year. They were super fast, and the reason they had high yards per carry because they would bust a long one, or they could go around the edge or whatever, and they also had great offensive lines. What you did with Shady and Kevin Williams Sr., I don't know how you're averaging 8 yards a pop because they weren't super fast. You didn't run trick plays. You didn't run sweeps or tosses. You ran power. Maybe I can watch that film of you. You averaged 8 yards a pop. No cheese, no gimmicks. I don't know what it is that you do. It's amazing. Like I said, keep doing your thing because every time I looked at your rushing game, cause you didn't cheese it or nothing. Whatever you do, keep it going, man, because that's amazing. So, like you said, it's a perfect fit. Man, I think he's about to give people fits with that Leonard Fournette, man.
Yep, he definitely will. The one question mark I have, well, we don't even talk about offensive line that much, because that is definitely going to be the weakness, but I didn't want to focus on that. The offensive line it's not bad. It's a pretty average offensive line. They got one guy above the 80s, and they've got guys in the mid to upper 70s.
High 70s.
But and you've got solid tight ends and Mercedes Lewis. They traded what's his name, Julian Thomas. And you have Rivera. They have solid tight ends. Really, for what Truth does, running the football, good guys that can get open on play action. But the key to this offense is going to be the receivers, because in real life they seem to struggle. It's a mixture of things. This is why I'm kind of confused about what Jacksonville's offense has been the last couple seasons. You've got Allen Robinson, who's an 87, 90 speed, 93 excel, the best receiver. Then behind him you have Hearns, Marquise Lee, 81 and 80, both about the same speed, 88, 89, 91 excel. D.D. Westbrook, another damn college kid with fucking domestic violence. I don't know what's wrong with these dudes. Do not know what's wrong with them. But I saw him play at Oklahoma, and I can't stand Oklahoma. I know Hodge can't either. Fuck them. I'm still Big 12 at heart. D.D. Westbrook is a monster. For him to be the fourth receiver, I can tell you right now, proper XP, he's a number one receiver in this league. Proper XP.
Monster. Yeah, if he didn't have, they say he has crazy off the field problems. They say if he didn't have that, he would have been easy
first round. Oh, definitely. Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. Because I was looking at him for Tampa, but then when all that stuff started coming out, like, man, we'll just have to find a receiver somewhere else.
Yeah, they say he didn't just have one red flag; he had plenty.
Yep, they're just throwing. Ref was running out of flags. Had to throw the hat down, take the shoe off, throw it out, the socks, everything. But then we go to the other side of football, and this is where things are going to change for them compared to what they had in real life. The big, huge off-season signing, Calais Campbell. A lot of teams are looking at trying to get him, thinking that he might try to go for the best opportunity to win a Super Bowl. And he did not go that route. He went to Jacksonville. He went the route where he can get the most money, and he got it. But he is a monster. 91
He
overall.
literally a monster.
Yep. Big size
That
dude.
man,
87 strength. He
that
is one of
man,
those guys that take over again.
he's 6'8". He's 6'8". Every time I see him standing next to offensive linemen, they look like his kids. That dude is humongous.
Daddy's back.
Oh, Daddy is right. Like you said, he could take over games. Don't run it his way. He's a load. You need 2 blockers on that dude if you're trying to run.
Yeah, you run his way, you're only hurting yourself. Then you have Malik Jackson, who I feel sorry for because last year, like, he didn't have a bad season, but I mean, it was Jacksonville. They just kind of struggled in a lot of ways last year. Really solid defensive tackle. Not as strong as you would probably like at 83, but he can still hold. He can still hold the point of contact. Now, the question I have is the other defensive end. Is he a defensive end or is he an outside linebacker? Depends on what Truth wants to do. You have Dante Fowler.
Me personally speaking, what I would do is definitely put him out outside linebacker because classically in 3-4, those guys are run stoppers. Where like Campbell and Malik, that's perfect for that. But I want Dante to be my pass rusher because he's slim too. So I don't know if he's going to be able to hold up at the point of attack. So I would definitely throw him on the outside, and that would be my pass rusher.
Yep, that's a dangerous weapon right there. You got Lesney as one guy, Smith as the other, and the building block of this defense, one of the two, in the middle, Miles Jack. 75 overall,
super athletic.
A nice user linebacker, one of, assuming we see how things play out with the user controls, he would be one of the ones I think that you would be able to pull out some of the Madden magic with. 87 speed,
18.
90 excel, 88 agility. It's got pretty solid catch, good hit power, and his zone coverage is 77. That's not bad. Does a little bit of everything.
My prediction from the little bit of, but I need to get my hands on it, from the little bit of gameplay I see, I think that I predicted Miles Jack year 1 had 14 interceptions. That's my prediction.
Yeah.
I still feel like people, even though I still feel like people are going to throw in the middle of the field a lot. So if you're still able to read plays and be in the right spot, you'll be fine. Like you said, I don't know, but I need to get my hands on it. But from a little, you probably can't guard the entire middle of the field. But if you can read and react, because from what I see, people going through across the middle. If you can read and react, you got picks. And like you said, that's good. He's just a perfect user linebacker.
Yep. Yeah, we know corner, they're set. Kind of not fair. You got Jalen Ramsey, who obviously is easy to build. 22 years old, 93 speed, 94 excel. He's got the size, has man coverage, has zone coverage, can press at the line. What can this man
everything you want. Physically gifted. He's can't ask for nothing more. That's what you can't ask for. Then the guy like they just added after free agency to Texas, we were just talking about. AJ had a monster year last year, one of the best man coverage guys. He comes in at 88 overall.
Yep, and then you have Aaron Colvin playing in the slot, 78 overall. Like they've got a solid secondary. You got those guys. I know that you have Church at strong safety. I believe it's Tashawn Gibson at free safety. So not a bad secondary. Not bad at all.
It's a good secondary. I got a question for you.
Yeah.
If you, just for this upcoming season, if you could have Jalen and AJ, would you take them or would you take the Denver no-fly zone, Akeem and Chris Harris?
Ooh.
And I'm not talking about for the future, because if you go future, you're going to go Jacksonville. But I'm saying for this year, because Jalen is, you can't ask for, only thing he needs is growth. He has the potential to be a shutdown corner, but Denver's already that. So just for this upcoming year, who would you go? Would you go with Denver because you already know what you got?
I would, because Chris Harris still has the speed to keep up with the speedy guys, but him and Talib can be so physical at the line of scrimmage, especially
Mm-hmm.
Talib.
I
Talib
think
could
that's
play
what makes a
somewhat
difference. Yeah,
slower. You could put
that's what makes
Talib
a
on a Mike
difference.
Evans, and he can play like Sherman, basically play the ball. You're not worried about the ball getting caught one-on-one. To you, it's either a swat or an interception, because he can play the ball just as great as those receivers can. You can put him on someone smaller, too, because he can jam at the line and take him out to play. And Harris, he does it all too. It's not. It's a really dangerous tandem to try to throw against. You're gonna immediately try to play the slot, and when you have a defense like that, if you can play the middle of the field decently, oh god, what do you do on
And that's
offense?
the I don't. You read my mind like a book. That's the difference between me because athletically, you go with Jacksonville because of things they do. But the difference is even Chris Harris too. But Talib takes it to another level. Beats you up at the line of scrimmage. And like when Talib gets his hands on you, and then he's a fighter too, man. He's a fighter. Like the most hilarious thing from last year was it was so random too when he snatched Michael Crabtree necklace off.
Like, what
I
are
was on
you
the
doing?
floor. It was so out of nowhere, and I loved his explanation after the game because he owned it too. Because he was like, "You think you gonna wear a chain in my field? Like this football. We play football. You're not just about to win no chain. Like this a cupcake league." He owned it, and it was hilarious because it was like Crabtree reaction was like, woo. He didn't even know how to react. He like, wait a minute, what?
Yeah, and you know why else I'm gonna say Harris and Talib, because I had to just pull up their ratings.
Mm-hmm.
They both have
94,
93 play rec.
Mm-hmm.
Man coverage 97 and 96, zone 93 and 90, and it's not
Wait.
just that.
Did you say their man is 97 and 96?
Yes, Harris is 97 man, Talib is 96. Harris 93 zone, Talib
Oh,
90. Their play rec is 93. And guess what? Their catch. The catch for Harris is 79. Talib 84. He could be a starting receiver on damn near any team in the NFL with that rating on Madden. That is crazy.
now that you say catching, I just looked at that. AJ's only a 68 and Jalen's only a 67.
An 84 catch? I wouldn't even want to throw to Talib. Hell, Harris is a better defender and just like, fuck, I just hope you swat it.
Oh god, I'm
That
so
is
mad that
crazy.
you brought up catching because I bet you Nelson Aguilar is like an 82 and he's a receiver. Oh man.
Yeah, they
But I thought
are
that
mindful.
was just a little interesting thing because AJ and Jalen aren't one of the top tandems, but they're definitely up and coming. They're coming for to leave and care. Hopefully they can do half the things they're able to do.
Definitely. And that leaves one. That leaves the future MVP quarterback of the NFL, led Indianapolis Colts.
Indianapolis Colts. They have a Phillip Rivers problem. Luck. I mean, Luck needs a little help. Luck needs to stay healthy too.
Just a little.
But let's get into these Colts.
I wanted to let you know something, Peanut. Aguilar's catch is 74.
I knew it! It's a 74? You about to make me mad? You know, we're gonna say that for that division. I knew it, man.
I'm gonna make it even worse. So looking at the catch, you guys traded Matthews. So Torrey Smith is your number 2. His catch is 80. So Weaver could be your second receiver right now.
So basically, you're just saying that if I throw it to them, it's like last year all over again. I told you, Nelson. J.J. Watt got a higher catch. J.J. Watt is a deep tackle / right end. He has better hands than my receiver that we picked in the first round. Let's talk about the Colts, man. We'll talk. The Eagles coming up soon. We'll talk about that when we get to the NFC East. Sad. I didn't know it was that low. That's depression.
I don't know where his XP is going.
If if he touches the field, I got him thinking to do.
Yeah.
Nelson Aguilar. So we talked about Andrew. I don't even want to. Sam Leatis, man. We talk about the Colts. That's sad.
Well, obviously, the greatest weapon in the NFL is a great quarterback that can make all the throws. And regardless of his issues with the offensive line, he has that. A 93 short, 87 mid, 86 deep. One of the best packages you'll find in a young quarterback in the NFL for sure. Throw power at 95. He's got some speed, so he can get on the edge. 84 speed, 86 excel, and can throw on the run. So he does everything.
Yes, he does do everything. Because I have to bring up a random stat. Can you go look at Andrew Luck catch? Why is he damn near Ellison Aguilar? He's a 72.
What? He's catching 72!
He's 2 points lower than my receiver.
You know what? He could be in Hodges' offense with the Wildcat and be a legitimate threat to throw the ball. You know, we're just gonna move on to the next position. We're gonna move on to the next position. You have the fossil, no disrespect, Gold Rush. Dude's had it. Frank Gore, 34 years young. His speed is 82. He can't even get off the backfield anymore. And with that offensive line, he damn sure can out the backfield. So, I expect to see Robert Turbin get at least a share, if not more, of the bulk. Well, they have other capable running backs. Gore, don't get me wrong, I like Gore. He's had a great career.
Yeah, but he's done, and I don't even know how he's at 83. You're exactly right. I seen him last year. He's a shell of himself. He's like, oh shit, he can't get out the backfield. I don't know how he's at 83.
But they have two capable backs behind him. Robert Turbin.
He's not starting. Yeah, he's not starting.
Yeah, and one of my personal favorites who I think could have a breakout year with this team, Christian Michael. I really like that kid. So I hope that he can take over that job and get a run game going, because Andrew could use that. We know what they come with at the receiver position. You've got T.Y. You've got Goldie's favorite receiver, Dante Moncrief. Dude's a monster.
He has a lot of physical traits to be one dominant receiver.
Yep.
Really good receiver.
The sneaky one, Philip Dorsett, 73 overall, but 96 speed, 92 excel. Someone that you could play with around the middle of the field, the deep hash marks, if not to get open, to help get other people open. He's a guy to keep an eye on, definitely with that offense. Tight end,
definitely.
They don't have what they had in Fleener and Allen, but they do have a nice tandem. Jack Doyle playing the role of Dwayne Allen. Brandon Williams, speedster, playing the role of Fleener, a little bit older. But can't block for shit, but he can catch. No, pretty much like Fleener. And Jack Doyle is a little bit of a mix of both. But the one weakness that they've had pretty much since Andrew Luck has been there, that trash-ass offensive line.
One of these
ratings. This is bullshit.
It's actually, I'm looking at this. They're not looking too bad.
They just have.
It's the right side. It's the right side bad because I'm looking at the left side.
Bad. The right side is 74 and 72.
Okay, there you go. Because I see the left side decent.
Yeah, I forgot they signed. I forgot Kelly. Kelly's not a bad guy, but the offensive line is better than it really is in real life. That line has been bad.
Left side got 83, 82, 79. The right side's horrendous.
Turnstiles, as RJ would put it. And then the defense. Well, I guess they don't really believe in the trenches here in Indy. Because this is not a good group. I like Hankins in the middle. But the edge, interesting. Your starting right end will be a 70. Your starting left end will probably have to play both left ends. Langford, who's not bad, he's an older guy. But the problem is they don't really have the strength to hold at that point of attack, which is honestly how they played in real life. They got bullied in the run game a lot. They don't really have the horses up front. You got speed at linebacker. Simon's not a bad dude. Mingo, a nice solid piece as a backup, but I'm sure you'll find some time for him. God, their linebackers are terrible. Yeah, their linebackers are terrible. But then corner, at least it's to upgrade in the secondary, especially with what they had the last couple of seasons. You've got Vontae Davis still chugging along there. Very solid corner. 86 overall, 89 speed, 93 excel, catch of 81. Darius Butler's playing on the other side, 82 overall, same speed and acceleration. Both have good catch, 81 and 72. Now I have to look at the catch rate, and that kind of bugs me. Both solid in man, 86. One Davis, 81 in zone, 79 for Butler. Wilson actually not that bad. Really solid in man and zone, sneakily. That's your nickelback, someone that you can develop, possible replacement for Vontae Davis or Butler in the future. Safety, Malik Hooker was drafted. Pretty damn cool name. 88 speed, 91 excel. A playmaker. TJ Green, I don't know what his rating would be at corner, but that's a possibility of swapping him there in the future. He's got a lot of speed. And then at strong safety, you got Clayton Gathers. 87 speed, 90 excel, 81 overall. So for all the issues that the Colts had on defense, you got to start somewhere. And it looks like these guys have decided the route that we're going to go is we are going to get secondary and we're going to try to work on the defensive line. So they got the secondary, they need to work on the front seven. Welcome back, Peanut.
I'm back.
What do you think of this defense? I looked at them. They don't really have the strength to hold the point of attack up front. Linebackers are substandard from, I think, what you would want in Madden, but they have a good secondary. So they got to start there. It's got to work on that front seven.
See, my biggest thing with them, like you said, their secondary actually is decent, but I think that defense, I guess I'm from the school of Andy Reid, because that's what he always drafted front offensive line, defensive line. Your front seven has to be good, or if you can't get to the quarterback, I don't care how good your corners is. If I have time, I'm going to find an open guy. You can find the linebackers, you can find the slot receiver. There's so many different options. A running back. If you don't have a cornerback can only hold on for so long. If a receiver gets 4 to 5 seconds, they're going to get open. So I feel like the defense is going to struggle because you can run against them, you can pass against them. They don't really have a pass rusher. They don't really have run stuffers. So their defense is just, I don't like it. But they do have good secondary guys. If they can force some fast throws, they could definitely create problems, but I don't see how they can do that with this defense because just the middle of the field is so soft.
Yeah, if you guys look at if you look and then JB said seems that the Colts starting DBs are right under the 90 speed threshold, so regression might really affect them possibly. That's a good point. It might. Talk about how it affects acceleration. I know it won't affect speed itself too much. The question is the acceleration.
And the scary thing too, I'm looking at these ratings. Do you know that the only guys over 80 on their defense is secondary guys?
Yeah.
Secondary is very important, but I personally believe it starts in the trenches. Like I said, if you can't
inside out,
you can't get pressure, man.
it's really hard to win. Because you think about running the football, the only way you're going to stop the run if you can't hold the point of attack is you just have to outnumber people. And when you outnumber people, all it takes is for one hole, and that guy's gone. That's a 20-yard run. Then you have to tackle an open field. That's asking
Which
a
is
lot of
one
your
of the hardest
secondary.
things to do.
Yep.
Especially
Then the
secondary.
play action is even more dangerous because you got all these guys in the box. Boom. All of a sudden, you got guys
And you're
going.
going to have to play in the box with that coach because I don't see how they can stop the run with that front.
Yep, that's a work in progress. So we've got them all covered. I guess we'll start and see where we have these guys finishing. This would be a fun division to watch because I do like the Colts have their issues on defense, but they are a really fun team. I think I had the Colts the first year in Madden, and I know Debo had them last year. They are a really fun team to play with. They have so many weapons on offense. It's just you have to go all into doing something with that defense. The hell with the offense. You don't even need to make moves for them. It's all defense. Draft, trades, everything.
So
who you got
my
at
number 4, pretty easy for me. Just the Colts don't have the talent. Offensively, they are a fun team. Defensively, it's not so fun. Go with the Colts. They just, like you said, they need to sell out on defense and just help. They got to get a front seven. That's going to be hard for them. They're going to struggle, but I feel like it could be a fun team to watch, like you said, because offensively, they do have a lot of toys, and Andrew Luck is always fun.
Yep. And it's the one thing that's scary about this game. As good as Andrew Luck is, any quarterback in this game is only as good as the coach. Because you can give a guy that can't make reads a great quarterback, not going to make him a better quarterback. Interceptions are still going to happen. So it puts immense pressure because the fact that when you play defense, what do? You're going to play man? If you don't get pressure, the defense is going to get spread out. Eventually, someone's going to break off open. You play zone, the zones get spread out. Holes everywhere. They don't have a front seven.
And you know what's funny too, because you brought that up, whole spread. Especially if you get too much time in zones, deeper gets open. So you can get it creates hard to the deeper routes. It's hard to cover those, and that's what spreads out. You can get a lot of deep gains against zones with a lot of pressure. I mean, with a lot of time.
Yep. Oh yeah, unfortunately I will have to agree with you. I love Indy, but I think it's going to be hard for them to get out of 4th place in this division.
Yeah. A minute. I think we just got a late from a guest. I didn't even realize.
Hold on. So let me unmute him. We have the Colts guy here. Instant feedback.
We have the Colts guy in here.
Mr.
USB.
You might have to introduce me better than that.
we didn't expect you. It was a late intrusion. You just busted our doors open.
Yeah,
we was
busted down the window.
We was at the end of the pod, and you just busted in.
No. We gonna crank that bitch back.
No. You're fine. So USBO. You want to introduce yourself, man? You want to tell what team you had last? What was the last team you had? Because I don't think you had last.
You know. Well, I was a little underestimated. It was about a year ago. I was in 17, you know. I had the sad ass Saints. I wasn't, really looking to do anything with them, but it was just like, something to do for fun. But a lot of people disrespected me. I lost games. I lost every game. It wasn't fun, I can tell you that. But, a guy named Nick Dansby, a rookie, I got traded for Randall Ghost. He gave me him. And I started having fun. That running back really changed my life. And this season, now that I got my coach, my Andrew Luck, my boys, man, I'm looking to, turn some heads. I might be in the Super Bowl this year. You never know.
So, what super? I mean, you looked at the coach roster when you said.
A lot of it don't have to do with the coach roster. A lot of it has to do with skill and talent. And when I have,
So you feel like
players here talking, you know
this? I like the confidence. So you
All
feel
right.
like whatever your coach lack, you're going to.
Oh, I don't feel like I know.
Okay. I love the confidence, man.
Yes, sir.
So
All right. And
like
I'm going to say one thing real quick. For those of
all
you that
right.
are a little bit newer to the league,
Mm-hmm.
he got a shit draw with the Saints because Marcus, his friend, Brandon, just Brandon would just disappear during the off season, like completely disappear, draft and free agency. So there would be the
So
bare minimum people on the roster.
all the good guys leave.
Everybody was gone, and he come back like, "So what's going on?" Like, what do you mean what's going on? Like, we're like the fourth stage of free agency. So when he got the Colts, they were in terrible shape. You're not
Yeah,
lying about
he
that.
did. He did get the wrong end because, like you said, I think when USPO came and got him, they had like 30 players on the team. He had to like sign all these people and
I
everything.
think
Like,
my best player at the time was oh God, I don't know who it was. Matter of fact, it might have been
It,
Kenny Stills.
it
I'm not
wasn't
lying.
Drew Brees, and the fact that you don't know says it all. Uh,
yeah. But so we hear that. So you are a Colts fan, and sound like you're excited that you got your coach. So
I'm very excited.
so what is a player that you feel like could have a breakout season for your coach? Somebody that we don't know. Not
Easy
okay.
money. You know who I'm gonna say, man. My boy.
Who's your boy?
Andrew Luck, man. My boy.
Did you say no?
no, not.
Not an obvious one because Andrew, we more so like
last season. Y'all don't know what he gonna bring.
but we know what he could bring.
We know what he's supposed to bring.
I'm gonna go with my boy at safety, Malik Hooker.
There you go.
Okay.
Oh God, I remember. Yeah, he's super athletic. Yeah, I like that pick.
I watched the preseason, a couple of days ago of him. Just a couple tackles he had, but they say he wasn't supposed to be a tackler, but he was looking pretty good. We got our ass beat.
It's only preseason. That doesn't matter.
Wins and losses don't matter.
So, do you feel like you're gonna user him some this season?
Oh, safety, I will not be using. I'm sorry. Not at all. That's not my cup of tea right there. I will be on the linebacker. I will be on the linebacker. You will not see me at safety this year.
Another player we were talking about, if you were listening to the pod, we were talking about Dante. I can't even get his name out now.
Dante Moncrief.
Yeah,
Moncrief.
Really good player, man. I'm telling you. He will show some people this year that he's not playing no games, man. He right under T.Y. Hilton, bro. He got the
he has the physical skills. I'm telling you right now because I remember last year. You're going to get a lot of PMs about trades. He's a hot commodity in this league. A lot of people like him.
I didn't even see. If y'all willing to trade, I am too. You can't get up out of there. I will move his ass.
Pat will be in your DMs within an hour.
but you got to realize, man, if Andrew Luck is on the field, everybody boost up plus 10.
Okay, so you feel like he has that Tom Brady effect.
Look on the field.
Tom Brady effect, you mean Tebow effect.
Don't start on Tebow. Talk again.
We're talking about Tebow. You might as well just cut me out the clock.
Inside joke.
Baseball, getting hit in the head with the ball. He's done. His life is rolling.
Well, let me ask something.
I'm not sure. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, because JB said in chat, I wanted to just throw this out there since we have you on there. You don't have, I thought that the duo of Dwayne Allen and Kobe Fleener made for a very nice duo for Andrew Luck because you had the guy that could hit the seam in Fleener, and Allen is underrated as a receiver because he can catch everything underneath and he still can get up the field as well. But now you go from having those guys, like as JB put in chat, he's like, you don't have Fleener from last year, this year no Allen, so you don't really have that safety net at tight end that you used to have. But now you have Williams and you have Doyle. What do you think about your tight end position for this upcoming season?
Now Doyle, you seen a little bit of him last year. He had a couple touchdowns. Doyle is like, he been on the coast for a while, so he run the system. He know the system. But Williams, I haven't really seen much of him. I want him to surprise me this season. I don't see him doing too much at all. But Jack Doyle, he gonna be. I feel like he's gonna run. He's gonna run the offense a little bit better than Williams
because he's been there a while and know sort of.
Yeah, right.
So and point two off of what you said too, because you said you feel like you're gonna have a really good season. You feel like you're gonna be a Super Bowl contender from day one. But
okay, hold on. Let's stop right there. Now, I do believe I can make it to the Super Bowl. And I don't want to start nothing now. So let me go ahead and correct you and say that I think I may make it to the Super Bowl, because not by day one. I'm not just gonna hop in that bitch and just say, all right, I'm about to go to the Super Bowl. Fuck all this. Mm-hmm.
I feel you. I understand what you're saying, but
I guarantee a playoff spot. Just say that. Guarantee.
Okay, no, there you go. And once you get in the dance, anything can happen.
Yep, exactly.
So you feel like you're a contender from day one, and you feel so. But the question, because something me and Sam was talking about earlier is, your defense is on the lock side. So how do you feel like you're gonna overcome not too great defense?
All right, now this gonna be kind of hard to answer, because defense, you can see, is flat out ass. You don't really have it anywhere. My boy Vontae Davis, he getting old, man. He getting real trifling out there. He had a horrible He getting slower, and then got a 33-year-old Darius Butler. We're not gonna be guarding shit. I'm gonna have to come down a bunch of lucky ass plays and a bunch of hard work. And we just can't miss tackles. I'm going to tell you, we're going to get scored on. But the thing is, just like the old coach, the old Peyton coach, he used to outscore somebody. That's what we got to do, just outscore them.
Oh, so I see where you're coming from, because you've been a lifelong Colts fan, right?
Exactly, there you go.
So basically what you're feeling is that, because what you said is accurate, how Peyton never had the best defenses, but they always will be 13-3 because Peyton would outscore the team. You feel like Luck is capable of doing that too, and you feel like he's going to be able to carry the defense and outscore the other team.
Luck has so much potential. I mean, everybody sees it. It's just,
Oh yeah, no doubt.
Holding him back. You put that boy anywhere on any offense. Matter of fact, I don't even want to do it, but I'm gonna do it anyway. Put him behind Dallas line. MVP.
Oh yeah,
MVP.
I can agree with that. You put a wholesale quarterback.
Also help him with his scrambling game. Every 10 seconds, he's either running for his life or he's done in the ground.
That's why he's hurt now.
That's why he's always hurt. Yeah.
Our best offensive lineman is Anthony Costanzo.
Yep.
That boy is trash.
No arguments there. I wouldn't buy that offensive line shit. I know how a lot of quarterbacks like to buy gifts for their guys.
I'm a little afraid to play, the Browns. Oh God, the Raiders. The Raiders is gonna scare me. Randall goes know how to play. So I know his ass is going to be on Khalil Mack hawking me down.
So
I'm not even going to go there, man.
You brought up a few teams that you were afraid of. So just
let me not say the Browns. I'm afraid of them. It's just going to be a little.
You can't switch up your words now. You're
afraid of the Browns.
I'm not to bring disrespect into the pod, because we promote positivity, but it sounds like you just said you see yourself as a playoff team, but you're scared of the Browns. How does that make sense?
Okay, now I'm going to tell you what I said. I'm just scared. Miles Garrett.
Those pass rushers can be dangerous. So,
how did they rate him on this year's Madden?
Miles Garrett, he's like an 84, like one of the high. He's rated.
He's gonna be sick. He's gonna be.
Yeah,
sick.
he is.
So he's
definitely gonna have superstar development too.
Now I'm gonna segue really quick here. You bring up pass rushers. You bring up those guys.
You don't have any.
Oh God.
it's not even that.
We
It's
go
that
back.
the other teams in the division
Now, we
do.
already know that.
JJ Watt.
Oh my
Clowney.
god.
Watt,
That one.
Campbell,
Dante
Rackbo,
Watt.
Morgan,
Campbell.
Fowler, Clowney. They're all in division except on your team. How are you going to compete against that?
Like I said, Lucky plays an outscoring. Look always on the Texans, on the Titans, and the Jaguars. Just we're not even gonna talk about they sad asses. But anyway, the Texans last year they took our playoff spot, so I'm going to take their playoff spot this year. You best damn well I'm gonna give it my all against them.
So, like I was going to ask you because you already you were a step ahead of me. You brought up a few teams that worried you, but just to keep it division wise, I'm not sure if you know these names because I know you all around a little bit, but I'm not sure if you.
The truth, I heard him. I heard a little bit.
Okay, so like the truth has Jaguars. TJ has the Texans, and I got big time. I believe he was Dallas last year.
Yeah.
Sam. Or,
Yeah.
Big time has the Titans. So even if you don't know the guys, what team in that division worries you the most? Puts the most fear in you that you feel like is going to be an obstacle you won't have to get over.
Okay, let me go ahead and say none of them actually. If I can't just single one out, I don't know none of them.
But what team then? What team?
Inside of me if I do not know them.
So what team worries you the worst then?
Not even team as far as players. Oh,
as far as team, as far as players. Texans, yeah, that defense, huh? Yeah, that defense is stout. That defense is crazy.
Speed
because, as Sam said too, how the hell are you gonna stop when JJ Watt and Conley coming after you? You know, JJ Watt is a 98 best defender in this game. Well, not on Madden rating wise, but in my opinion, best defender in the game. Oh man, I feel like luck might be in for a tough day when JJ's coming down that hill.
We'll be doing some recruiting first season after, We're gonna get rid of some offensive linemen, man. We're gonna be doing some recruiting. We're gonna get some pieces. It's gonna come slowly but surely.
That's the way to go. So the flip side of that question, what's a team that you feel like you're gonna beat up on twice a year? Somebody that you just feel like even you're not worried about Marcus Mariota?
Yeah, no. He may scramble a little couple times, but he will no, not at all.
Oh, you don't think he?
Who was he throwing the ball to?
Well, they have this young rookie. They got with
Corey Davis. You'll trust me, as a Colts fan, you'll hear about him an awful lot coming up.
And something else too.
They don't have to.
Wait, is there also? How the hell are you gonna stop the
run? Yes. Is there a pass rule that you have to pass 10 times? Because if not, Marcus might not even line up on the field. They might just give it to the running back every play.
You're right, but I'd rather go with Marcus Mariota than Leonard Fournette.
Yeah, good point. I could see that.
Because the Jaguars will pound that bitch, and I'm not, I don't think I got an answer for Leonard Fournette.
Yeah, he does look scary.
I don't think many of us do right now. We'll have to try that out together.
It's gonna be wild. Y'all gonna be. I want y'all to tune in to some of my games. See how it tune out, man. The defense is really not up to par. But
I'm definitely tuning in because I'm liking what you're selling.
I have to. But I will watch.
I like what you're selling, man. It sounds like you're gonna have a high power offense, and nothing's wrong with putting points up. I hope you can back up the talk, man.
I will, Peanut.
That's all I ask for. I love a high scoring game. If anybody watch me play, I love points.
Right.
And you're gonna have to.
I have to look.
You're gonna have to put up a lot.
If you like a lot of points, wait till next season. Me and Debo. Game of the fucking year.
Debo don't put up points.
Exactly. You'll be seeing me.
I'm just going to circle this on the schedule right now. Everyone, game of the year, if we're talking about points, Week 8, Indianapolis Colts at Cincinnati.
Okay.
Over under 100 points. I'm setting it now. T.Y. and John Ross, AJ Green, Dante Moncrief about to break the scoreboard.
Going bonkers.
I'm ready for it, man. Game of the year, man. I'm happy. If that's really the game of the year, I'm honored to be on ESPN. Monday night. What is it? Sunday night, Monday night. What?
Oh, it's because you're playing Pat, so we might have to make that a prime time game. We might have to tell Wolf, I'm sorry, you got to play your game early, buddy.
I'm like prime time every week, man. It's gonna get really pretty out there with Andrew Luck on that offense. Now, as soon as he get hurt, because I'm afraid that he's gonna have a little injury problem this year since he got injured, and they may lower his injury rating, you know. So if he get injured, you know, don't look to watch me. Don't.
Don't look to watch me. So who's I'm pretty sure you heard rumors about some players. So who's the guy you're looking forward to playing? You feel like that you feel like an elite guy. I know you heard rumors about somebody.
All right, now you know I heard rumors about people. You know I like playing my boys, Peanut, Debo, J, RG. You know they're always gonna be good games. But one name that came to me when I first joined the chat, you know, they asked me when did I join the league. You know, Hodgepodge came in first thing he said, "Oh, he was here for the 3P." And I felt like, you know, he was coming at me strong, like I'm the one in this motherfucking league that's going to take over. And you know why he had a 3P, the team he had was the Seahawks. The thing he got this year is who? The Seahawks. So I will be putting the beat down on his ass. I don't care about Russell doing this, doing that. The Colts will beat the Seahawks. The Colts will beat the Seahawks.
I can tell you this. Maybe Pat might have to wait. Week 4 of the season is Indianapolis at Seattle. I'm scared. Hodge might blow up. He might blow up the highlights with shit from that game.
You know, y'all may look at it as Conor McGregor versus Floyd and him being Floyd.
Yes, sir.
All right.
And then you trying to shock the world.
And most people don't know me in this league, but you gonna know me real fast. Week 1, baby. Week 1. Andrew Luck putting up a number.
Oh man.
Cause don't think Frank Gore's running that ball. 38 years old.
Oh, we already talked about that. You know his speed is only at 84. Yeah,
he won't be playing.
Not at all. He can't even get out the back.
He won't be playing the game.
He's not even goal line.
He shouldn't even suit up. I don't think
he'll be the veteran teaching everybody. You know, Reggie Wayne, his last couple years playing, you know, he didn't look so good, but he still went out and busted his ass. You know,
he did.
He caught a couple slant passes, got a couple. That was wow.
Oh, I forgot. You played JB said week 3 Browns versus Colts.
Look at that. Every team you just said.
Yep, you play him season 1. I think you looked at the schedule.
Now, so we got week 3, week 4. That's 2-0. Okay. Week 8. Who we play? Week 8 is the game of the year. The Bengals.
The Bengals.
The Bengals.
Yeah.
The Bengals.
That's gonna be the most points scored in the game right there. Yeah, but man, looking very delicious this year, man. I'm like,
delicious.
I can just picture myself throwing the ball with Andrew Luck and T.Y. Hilton running that bitch. Yeah.
Oh yeah, the game. I'm excited for it. The game it looks amazing. It looks like the best man I've seen.
I'm really excited. You know, not just the 1v1 league. You know, team up coming back, man.
That'll be fun.
The guys back, but it's gonna be real fun. Now, I just want to know, like, is since I'm getting the GOAT version of the $80 version, and I get to pick one my team player. Now, for the people that pick the one my team player on the that's going to be joining my association or whatever, now are they going to be able to put their players as well as mine into the team, or?
Oh, you talking about like 2K? You talking about like
like how my team is?
No.
Okay, so it's all
separated.
Is bringing that one player, or how's it going to work?
There's no one player. You can't. That's
a totally separate mode.
Yeah, it's so separate. So what they're bringing, yeah, I know because you're talking about. I see what you're at. What the head coach is bringing for the ultimate team, it's the ultimate team 3-on-3 for those who don't play team play, you can play 3 people versus another 3 online as a team. You bring in your ultimate team roster. That's all you.
Okay, so since you're bringing your ultimate team, now the player you pick for the ultimate team when you get the GOAT edition, right? You get one good player, it's like Tom Brady, Reed Red Luke. Now the player you pick is gonna be able to play for the ultimate team, correct?
Yeah, as long as
you're head coach.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so if somebody else is the head coach, it don't bring your roster. So
we won't be getting Tom Brady as a coach fan. Just
so what you're saying is that you and Z can't be on the same team as long as he's the coach.
Tom Brady will not be on my team.
So as long as your head coach is your roster, it's your rules. But
head coach, offense, defensive captain, whatever you want me at. If Tom Brady is on the field, I am not playing.
But if it's Z, for example, if it's Z's team and he's the head coach and he has Tom Brady, you have
Tom Brady, and am I a wide receiver running? No.
So you say you're gonna pull a Randy Moss?
I'm not passing the ball with Tom Brady. I'm gonna run the opposite way. We're gonna get a pick. And I'm gonna blame Tom Brady. That's his fault. No respect for the guy at all.
You gotta respect his greatness, though.
You gotta respect greatness, just like LeBron.
Yeah, I don't like LeBron. No, you disturb me.
That's what I'm gonna get.
Yeah.
Let me not even go into basketball, so they don't like hearing it on this pod. But
you're damn right. But
don't like LeBron. Don't like Tom Brady.
I don't like Kobe. Kobe great.
Kobe fan, Peyton Manning fan, man.
Kobe don't pass.
Kobe don't pass, Peyton Manning pass. So that kind of cancels out right there.
There's a lot of things that Kobe doesn't do, but we won't go there.
And there's a lot of things that LeBron doesn't do, as far as win the finals. Just think of it. If Ray Allen and
doesn't hit those shots.
1-7 in the finals. If they didn't hit those shots, bro, 1-7 in the finals.
Maybe next year the Spurs don't make it because they're not as motivated after losing the way they did. Hell, if Shaq wasn't Kobe's teammate, since Shaq won those finals for him, he doesn't have 5 championships.
Okay.
Finals MVP. The sidekick, the Rodman, the definitive Rodman on those championship teams.
Ooh, spicy.
Now we can go there too.
And I'm a Laker fan. Don't get me wrong.
Spicy.
I appreciate what Kobe did, but Shaq won those rings. Shaq was the center point of those teams.
Shaq was the reason they won. He's right. -3 since y'all to bring LeBron. Ooh, spicy.
He was disgusting. Oh my God, Shaq was just gross.
Shaq against Mutombo was the greatest feat I've ever seen in the finals. Like, it was just.
But honestly, just put yourself in those centers' position. You're just sitting there. It's 7-4. What are you gonna do?
Not only that,
I'm trying to foul him as soon as he gets the ball. I'll sit on the bench. I don't care.
You can't foul him when he hit you with elbows in the face. He was messing Mutombo up.
The slow motion.
The other day with the pods, imagine him guarding Russell Westbrook. The same thing, bro. I sat down and squatted my knees to bend down and guard Russell Westbrook. He'd be gone right as soon as I did it.
I'm good. So you're a listener, man.
Bro, I watch all the time. Big fan, man.
We appreciate the love. We talk about for those who don't know.
I pay my $20 a month to listen to y'all fat ass niggas.
That's funny, man. I'm telling you, I think that would be a nightmare going Russell Westbrook. I really think he'd go for 100 because he's one.
Just imagine. No, okay. Let's get away from basketball. Run the ball, heads up. Ray Lewis in his prime.
Really?
You're gonna get brain damage.
I'm running to the sideline. I'm pulling a Sean Alexander. I'm running straight to the sideline. I'm going out of bounds. Don't fucking touch me.
Mississippi drill, no sideline. You running straight up, and you feel me?
I'm not running no Oklahoma.
I'm sick. I can't practice today.
I can't do it. He's too big. I can't go against him. Give me fucking Gary Brackett in front of me. Goddamn.
That's funny you say that because I remember when Shaq used to play and other centers would sit out. And they'll be like, "What's wrong with him?" And the commentator will always make this joke. He got that Shaq flu. Like,
No, I would.
It would always be like some random illness. And they're like, "Yeah, he got that Shaq flu."
You know what?
Exactly.
I take it back. I said what he did against Mutombo was bad. There's one worse. The year that the Lakers went 15-1 in the playoffs, it should have been 15-0. When they played the Spurs, that was billed as it's going to be such a great series. The Spurs are really, really good. They were.
Mm-hmm.
The Lakers are really good. Like, this is going to be a great series. Shaq, bitch, Peter Robinson, and Tim Duncan. I've never seen anything like that. I was like, what is going on?
Mm-hmm.
They could not do anything against this guy. Like, it was worse than what it was.
For real.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because the Admiral was something serious, too.
He was, but it's just that Shaq is the most dominant guy.
He, to me, is the most dominant basketball player
ever.
Ever.
You can say player ever, bro.
No, ever, for real, because
no one can stop him in his prime.
Made 7-foot dudes look like kids. Like, he would put them underneath the rim. Like, if you tried to block his shot, your arm with the dunk. Like, he was terrifying.
He'd carry you up there with the dunk.
In that post, you might... Exactly. You're in the basket with it. He's shitting on you and the damn rim. Because he's going to break the rim and break you at the same time.
Because it's hard. For me, personally, the best player of my generation, I feel like, I've watched is Tim Duncan. But the most dominant is Shaq by far, man. Like, it's just... Man, because he wasn't even great defensively, but because he was so dominant,
so intimidating
off it. Yes, it was because even defense
get the ball in the post and turn around. Oh, this big ass nigga! Kick it out!
And like you said, an underrated thing about him is he was a good passer, man. He would throw no look passes from the post. It was
one of the best passing big men in the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, while he was fat, he was very finesse. That big guy was finesse. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, that nice touch on his, that whatever you want to call it, it's not a hook. Peanut corrected me. It's just a little spinning one hand shot. Like, we've been waiting for Dwight Howard to do that for 10 years now.
I don't know what to this day I don't know what that shot is. It's the most awkward. It's like a little back flip. I don't know what it is. It's not a hook. It's like a back.
And most players would go for that. If he faked it, best believe he turned around and shitting on that goal.
That's the thing. He only had two moves. He had that move, or he had his drop stack dunk on you. He had that move and his drop stack dunk. And guess what? Because he was the most dominant, you couldn't stop it. Because
and he didn't want the drop step dunk, so that's what he anticipated, and he shit on you with the other goofy move.
It is a goofy move.
Yep.
And you know what's funny? You can anticipate the drop step, but what he did was he elbowed the shit out of you.
And you can't do anything because he's already dunked it, and you damn near fouled him because you damn near sitting there holding.
Ain't no damn near. You did foul him because you're holding on to his leg. You know how you play your big brother, but he's so bigger than you. You're holding on to his leg as he's dunking, and he's looking.
And you feel like your big brother's fouling you. While he over here.
Wow, that's funny.
Grabbing his ass.
So we have a nice guest in chat. We have Truth is in chat. So you said, "Well, I missed someone entertaining while I'm on these steps." So you say, "Get that picture off this stream." There's no way he's on this whole out. But he said, "But if you're talking about in a fight, you're still going to take Charles Oakley over Shaq." I'm going to say this about Shaq. I'm going to say this about Shaq. First of all, I'll take Charles Oakley as my teammate. I don't care what the hell he lacks on offense. You're not bullying me because I drive to the basket. You hit me hard. He's going to take someone out. Maybe two.
But
with that, with Shaq, if Shaq would have hit Brad Miller or Charles Oakley, he'd still be in jail. Or Charles Barkley, he'd still be in jail right now. That Brad Miller, Brad Miller is lucky to be alive.
He's still be in a coma to this day.
His head would have exploded on contact.
But I was see, even though Shaq, see, this is the difference. Shaq, because Truth is 100% right. Shaq is physically imposing, and and everything. But Charles Oakley, he had a history of grown NBA hit the gym every day. Men were terrified of him. I heard his stories about chasing people around, punching them in their mouth because they owe him money or whatever. He was a real life goon. Like if I had to, it's funny because Shaq is 7'1" and I'll die. If I had to pick between the two, give me Shaq. I'm just going. Hopefully, I can run around in circles and he get tired. Charles Oakley, it's a rap. I know it's a rap because, like I said, he had grown men terrified of him. They said one time he went to the other team. They were in the city. They were about to play the team. Somebody owed him money. I forgot the guy's name. I wish I could tell y'all his name, but he went to their practice. So all 15 guys, because it's his team. He went to that team's practice. In the middle of their practice, nobody helped because it was Oakley. Went up to the dude, punched him in the mouth because he owed him money. In the other dude's home, and nobody did nothing because it was Oakley. That dude's terrifying.
That's why Dolan banned his ass. Like, hell no, I don't feel safe going to these games with you here. But he got peer pressured and let him in. Like, you know what, that's cool. Let me get to my box seat before you're allowed in the arena. Let me make sure my security is here before I let you in. That dude is scary.
No, that dude is terrifying.
No, you were definitely right, George.
100%. Charles Barkley held his own against Shaq too. He did his wrestling move, but he held his own.
He didn't against Oakley though. Yeah, he still denied that shit. He still denied I'm not scared of Oakley. Like that's not what other people say.
He does to this day. But USBO, is there anything else you want to add before we end this
All right, man. I just want to thank both of y'all for letting me come on to the podcast. Very late, but we should do this another time, man. Maybe maybe a little bit earlier so I can add a little something to the podcast.
Oh no, you added a lot, man, and maybe we can make that happen. And we appreciate you for joining us, man. Yeah. It's the honor to have you. You're very entertaining.
Sam show, man. Much appreciated, man. One time when me and Bo during the regular season, we get the Bo and Bo Morning show coming on. Best
hey. Let us know, man.
We might have to try to get you and Pat on before you guys have your big game. I think that would be a good
there. Big game. Big game.
All right, dude. Well, thanks for hopping on.
All right, man. I appreciate it. Y'all boys be safe.
All right.
So, I don't even know where we was at, but
I feel bad because we just talked about the Colts being the fourth team. I saw it right after, and he didn't even say anything about it. I don't know if you heard that. It's awkward.
I don't think you heard it.
He'll hear it later. He's like, damn. I was going to bring it up, but then it's just he started talking. It's yeah, I'll just let him go. I'm not going
to. He predicted he feel like he's a Super Bowl contender, so it's going to be fun to see if we were wrong. Hopefully he does prove us wrong, and they have an exciting season.
Oh, damn. True said this fool will play a team, dab you up, then walk into your locker room and slap you in front of your team and just eventually do shit. I'm telling you. I'm going to tell you this right now. My friend Chris, rest in peace, a couple years ago, because I went to state with him, dude is he's 6'5". It's people used to laugh because, I'm not trying to stereotype people, but this is how it is in basketball for those of you that don't know. If you're tall and white, they assume you play in the post. If you're black, they assume you're a driver. It's instant. I step on the court, people are automatically giving me space because they're trying to keep me from getting to the basket. I have a mid-range shot. I don't care. I'm fine with that. I'll just shoot from 18 all day until you start to body me up. But my friend Chris was 6'5", probably 215, 220, solid muscle. He was fast as hell. He was our Kobe. He was our number one option. This man would just, oh my God, his game was so good. So good. So we're in intramurals. And he was the leader of the team. He was the Kobe. I was the Derek Fisher. He yell at people, and I come from behind, give them the coaching perspective. Well, you just got yelled at for in a nice way. So, versus on a good page.
Yep.
And we're playing I'm not in their fraternity, but there was a rival team. And I can't stand that team. The couple times that we played them, we lost the first couple times. When we finally beat them, they wouldn't shake our hands. They walked off the court.
Mm-hmm.
So that left a bad taste in everyone's mouth, obviously, because their fraternities didn't get along anyway. So that just made it worse. But when we lost, respect, we'll shake your hand, good game. I remember the last time we lost before that, we shook their hand like, hey, good game. And their captain's like, not really, and just walked off like, oh, so you're going to be like that? Well, fuck you too. That's why we beat that ass the next game. Then they walk off the court. So we meet them in the playoffs. I'm driving for a layup. We're playing 20-minute halves with running clock. I drive for a layup, and the guy pushed me as I was jumping. So he already got teed up, because that's one of the most dangerous plays you can have in basketball. I'm running full speed from half court, get a steal, and he's right on my ass. And I go up, and he just shoves me. So, of course, I go crashing into the wall. Before I could even get up good, because I was already getting up mad as hell, I get up, and I turn to see Chris lay this man out with that right hook. I was like, damn, I have never seen this man get so mad. After that, our basketball games, people were terrified of that man. We had our enforcer. He was born that night. That guy got laid out, Tyson style. That 30-second knockout. I was like, damn. That guy never talked to me. Never talked to me on campus for the rest of the year. The rest of my time at state would not even look me in the eye. He see me coming, put his head down.
Oh, God.
So, it does help to have an Oakley on your team. It really does. But it also did help have an Oak on your team that could drop 30 points, too.
Oh, God. He was a productive Oak.
Oh, my God. That was my boy. Always had my back. So, I was finishing number 3. That's where we left off.
Oh, okay, 3. So, 3, I would have to go with the Tennessee Titans. Not that I don't like them. Not that I don't like the owner. It's just that, one, big time. You had a tough year last year. You're going to have to show me something. I like the team. And if it wasn't the Texans and the Jaguars, then I would have them higher. But I feel like he's going to have to show me something. He's going to have a productive offense and not make silly trades. And but it's good. He's going to be in the upfield battle with those two defenses, Jacksonville and Houston.
I agree. The thing that worries me about this team is what are you going to do passing the ball? They have the weapons out there, I believe, on the game with the speed that they have, and Corey Davis can be a monster. You have the offensive line. How are you going to be able to pass the ball? And I ask that knowing that you have to deal with the Jacksonville secondary and the Texans secondary, hell, the Colts secondary. It's going to be really important on being able to, when you have those 3rd and 4s, 3rd and 5s, can you convert them? How do you convert them? Can you keep defenses on the field and just wear them out? So you go in the 4th quarter and play action, becomes super effective. The thing that really worries me about the Titans, unfortunately, is up front. I like Casey. I like him a lot. I like Arakpo and Morgan too. But I don't feel like, even with the offensive line have on Houston and Jacksonville, I feel like it's a wash.
Jacksonville.
I feel like they're washes. So if they're going to be a wash, then what are you going to be able to do with your back 7? I'm not sure if he's going to get enough production out his back 7 to be able to compete with those two teams, as far as trying to win a division or a wild card. I just think it's going to be really difficult for him. Still needs some improvement.
Let's see. Number 2. This one's kind of tough because I love that Texans defense, and I feel like TJ has a quarterback of his liking and Deshaun, and has the speed, but I'm going to go with Houston, number 2. I love Houston team. Like Sam said Houston was a top 5 team. I think Jacksonville for me was a top 5 team because of the youth and I guess just the fun of developing that team. But as most people see Jacksonville as a development team, I see them as they could be they're also, even though they're not finished, they're still a good team now, and they're only going to get better um, in the coming years, and also, but I feel like they're going to be a Super Bowl contender this year. Houston, y'all need to show up this offensive line. Y'all do have speed on the outside. I feel like Houston will be a playoff team, but I feel like they'll be a wild card playoff team only because I feel like I guess Truth is the defending champion. Until somebody takes his trophy, I'm gonna have to make him the favorite in this division.
And I would agree. And there's two things that I'm kind of curious about with Houston. Houston had a lot of speed last year as TJ built his team. I got to see. I feel like I need to see what TJ does with speed because he's had some issues with last year's game. I know there were some things that he didn't like about last year's game, but speed in him in Madden 16 was scary. It really was for anyone that had to face his Ravens. It's totally different playing against his Texans because even though he had the speed, he wasn't getting the production that he was getting prior to before in Madden 16. So how is speed going to factor into what he's able to do in Madden 18? We'll have to see. And I'm bringing another aspect in here too. This is going to be another hurdle that he's going to have to deal with. If you could remind me, who did Jacksonville have as their owner last season?
Hodgepodge.
And he would be universally considered a top 3 player in the league?
Yep.
And I think we can agree universally that Truth would be considered top 3 player in the league?
Yep.
All right. So we saw how he did against Hodge last season, even with his issues at quarterback. He was still able to win the division every season in Madden 17. So I think TJ is a solid player. He has he does some different things that people don't normally do. He mixes in a little option, a little edge, moving his quarterback, the pocket shifting, since he has a mobile quarterback, so put a little more pressure on defenses. But he did struggle against Hodge for 4 seasons. Now you have Truth.
I don't think he won a game.
Yep, he went 0-8. So now you have Truth. You said he's a defending champ. Texans have the pieces, but that offensive line is going to have to get fixed. And he's going to have to avoid throwing interceptions. We'll have to see, again, how the user linebacker is going to be on this year's game. But Miles Jack is going to be one of those linebackers that people would love to control. It's going to be scary to see how he does against the rest of the league as far as Miles Jack. TJ is going to have an uphill battle. I think he'll have a really good season, but I think that he will be finishing in second.
Now, number one, obvious. We're back on the same track. The last couple ones we been mentioning in action, but we got exactly the same. Number one, obviously, Jacksonville, the defending champ. Truth. Now, like you said last year, Hodge took the Jaguars to the playoffs every year, so I feel like Truth is going to be the same. And also, Truth started with the Bills last year and turned that into a Super Bowl team. I feel like Jacksonville has more pieces for him to build around and more talent, and I feel like it'll be an easier adjustment for him. And I feel like he's going to be a Super Bowl contender from day one with a really, really good record. Because I remember last year he went 16-0 and blew his chance at the lossless season. Yeah, the perfect season in the playoffs. So I feel like this is a team that he's going to have a chance to go 14-2 because they have talent basically everywhere. They don't really have holes. Their hole might be Blake Bortles, and I feel like he's going to be able to work wonders with him because this is not a knock. Because, like I said, I see quarterbacks differently. Truth reminds me of Alex Smith / Chad Pennington type of quarterback where I believe he does not turn the ball over. He's the only guy in the league and the best at it by far and not turning the ball all over. He has a great running game. He's like an old school type of player. He has a great running game. He plays off of play action and he does not turn the ball over. I remember last year, every time I seen the stats, he had like 22 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, 19 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. He does a great job of holding on. I think he had one season where he had an interception problem, and that's great for out of 5 seasons. His defense was always great. His run game was always great. Solid pass game. Does not turn the ball over. that's a recipe for 16-0, and that's why he is one of the best players. Dominant defense, great running game, productive offense. I mean, productive quarterbacking, no interceptions, and that's, like I said, that's a recipe for success.
Yep, it's scary thinking about that. The Bills weren't I wouldn't say they were a super terrible team on last year's game, but they were far inferior to this Jacksonville team he has now, and he quickly built them up. He said he has better pieces. You walk in with a rookie running back that he literally can build with that fits exactly how he plays. An offensive line that may not be rated great, but it's a scheme that you don't have to have studs to play. All you guys have to do is find your guy and engage. Let the running back do the rest. And he said he does not make a lot of mistakes. Usually it would be one of those games where I'm going to have a 3-interception game here, a 3-interception game here. The rest of the season, he's just cruising along. His running game is so hard to stop, and it puts so much pressure on defenses to bring the blitz. And that's when you start going deeper down the field. And he has receivers. They have the speed to get down the field. They can make some plays for him. He's a really good user defender. The only challenge is I look for him to have a deep playoff run. And I think one of the storylines that I'm looking at, and I'm kind of interested to see in Madden 18, Ghost, Truth, and Hodge, however you want to order those guys. For me, that's my top 3. I have Truth at number 3. I think Truth could break into the top 2.
And proceed. Who do you feel like would jump out?
We'll have to see.
Okay.
But I think that he can make that argument because this is a team that is built to his liking from day one. And I think that with some hardware on this year's game, when all is said and done and we're looking at Madden 19, we could be having a different conversation about where Truth sits in the power rankings as an owner.
I mean, that's no doubt because if there's only 4 people, because no disrespect to you, Chezzy, but you called it like half the people were out the league. There's only 4 people who won a Super Bowl. There's Ghost with 3, Hodgepodge with 3, then you have Peanut with 1, and you have Truth with 1. So he's definitely could break in the top 2. Like you said, with more hardwood. But like there's only been 4 owners who have even got rings. So if he can join that elite club of getting multiple, without a doubt, he'll break into that top 2.
Yep, definitely. And he said as long as some jackass doesn't make silly trades to those other 2.
That would also help. Somebody does not give them pieces to make your job easier. Because I will say this, it's weird. Those 2 have probably the best rosters in Madden, Seahawks and Oakland. So it's definitely going to be an uphill challenge.
Yep, and regression helps one of those rosters. Won't mention a name, but I feel like that may add a little extra value in trades and also, just make that roster more appealing. Which I wonder if we had known about that beforehand, would that team have fallen as far as they did?
No,
because I think that would have changed people's opinions.
It would have. People were thinking that everybody's going to die. People didn't want to trade for Sherman when he was on the block.
Yeah. Oh, I feel like this is back to old times. We just agree on everything in this division.
That's what I just said.
But it's a tough one. It's a very weird mix of teams in this division, which is why I enjoy watching in real life. I feel like these all around, truthfully, all 4 of these teams in real life are all around the same skill level. No offense to Houston fans. I know you have a great defense. Your offense doesn't perform well enough to put you head and shoulders above. But the Colts, well, we don't ever see a healthy luck. The defense is trash. Tennessee, your defense gives up too many big plays. You need Marcus to have weapons. Jacksonville, can Blake Bortles turn a corner? can the defense perform the way we expect it to with the pieces you have? Like, this is what we look at in real life. This division comes down to the last week every season because these teams are just right there. But in Madden, it's going to be different because you have one of the best owners with arguably the best team overall in this division. You have TJ, who is a unique scheme, and he brings something really different than other people run. So it takes an adjustment to be able to play against him. You have to play against him twice. The Colts are just going to wing the ball around. They don't have a choice. And the Titans can be a really interesting team to play because they can do a little bit of everything, but ultimately that offensive line is something that has to be dealt with in order to kind of slow that offense down. Because their defense can be suspect, especially for the big play. So I'm really interested to watch this division. I mean, we have, I would expect Truth to have, you said, some good runs. You add some draft pieces there too. As it goes on, it might be a little bit harder for some of these teams to compete, depending on how they build their team. So it's gonna be interesting to see how teams build to play against Jacksonville going forward, because it's going to take an adjustment to play against that run game. I only got to play them once, and man, that run game was really different. You got to be very disciplined playing linebacker, and that's not something I'm used to. I'm used to just read, fly around, make my tackle.
Yeah.
With him, I have to be disciplined. I have to play my gap properly because if I over pursue, he will cut back. If I don't go out far enough, well, he can just hit the edge. Like it's very different for those that don't play that type of. Because you normally have people that either want to run straight to the edge with the toss, sweep, like you said, or those that'll pound up the middle. You have to play gap control against him, and that's something I don't think a lot of guys are used to in this league. And it can be difficult at times because you're so not wanting to give up the big play. Giving up 6 yards a pop hurts. And he said Jags will have 3 corners, rated 90 by season 3. Oh, damn.
Who said that?
Truth.
Oh, God.
Well, I played you season 3, so damn. That'll be a fun game. It'll be a fun game. I like playing guys like him because it's like a measuring stick, like for all of us. There's certain guys in the league that you play, and it's like I want to see where I stand, how I can play against these guys. Do I hold up well? What areas of my game do I need to work on? Like I feel like when you play the top guys, it's a good place to see where you're at.
I mean, just looking at this team too, he might not be ranked. Oh man, because they're all young too. Jalen's freaking a baby. AJ, I think, is only like 25, 26. He's already at 88.
Yep.
It's gonna be tough to pass on that team. And then you got Miles Jack, Rome in the middle.
Yep. Good luck.
You gotta throw somewhere.
Yep.
You gotta throw somewhere.
It'll be fun to watch. Well, I don't think I have anything else.
Nope, we've been at it for a while. We covered a lot.
All right, well, we all know what the next division is going to be because we got to save the best for last. Sorry, Dylan. No knock on your division, Sean. Jay and Mike. NFC North will be next. We have some interesting teams. I think 2 guys have their favorite team. I don't know who Jay's favorite team is. I don't think he's a Packers fan. I think he's a Giants fan. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, 2 guys with their favorite team. And you have Jay going from the Giants to the Packers, and Mike going from the Titans to the Vikings. Biggest storyline in that division might be, does Teddy get traded to the Raiders? Honestly. Right now. But
looks like it's gonna happen.
it's inevitable. But yeah, that'll be the next division, and we'll do the NFC East last. NFC East last. One thing I was talking to Peanut about. So I'm going to be working a lot the next 2 weeks. I have the opportunity possibly to drive to Los Angeles on Thursday after work and be able to score a couple of copies early of Madden. If I do, Peanut, I will send you a copy. And I'm not going to lie, I'm going to use my job's FedEx. I don't care. I've already overnight that. I could care less. Everyone else uses it for other stuff, so like I haven't used it yet. It's not a big deal. They'll let us use it because they look at
Okay,
it.
I'm
They
about
get
to.
bonus. Oh no, I'm not gonna get fired. I'm not gonna do
No,
something
no, no,
silly to
no,
get
no. I'm
fired.
just like that's.
I got rent to pay. I got bills. I'm not a full time wrestler yet. I can't afford to go without income. But I'll do that, and then I will probably figure out a way to decide how that other copy gets handed out. If that is the case, but no guarantees because I'm not gonna lie. I work Friday, and I work Saturday, and I work Sunday. I'm gonna work 7 days in a row. Not really all that interested in driving to LA for a video game, man. You're not, especially when I know I'll be getting it Tuesday and I can play. But we'll see.
How far
Well, see,
is the drive?
MapQuest is a liar, or the app that I use is a liar, because it says it's about 2 hours and 15 minutes. But then you factor in traffic. It's going towards the same area that Dodger Stadium is in. And the last time I drove there, it said it's about 2 hours and 40 minutes. Because I was going there for a baseball game. It took me 5.5 hours. I don't know if I feel like that, because I'd have to hit traffic around, people getting off work when I get around LA, and that's a nightmare. It's a disaster. And then have to turn around and come back in that. Like, my time is better, might not be that, it might be better valued elsewhere. Having the game early would be cool, and then, if so, we would have the game so we can mess around with it for a little bit and someone else, and we could kind of talk about our impressions of the game. Man, I just don't know if I want to do that drive. But it's Monday.
Yeah,
I'll have to see how I feel
like
on
a
Thursday.
hike. That sounds like a hike.
I'll have to see how I feel Thursday morning. If not, I may. Because I don't think I can have them mail it. I'm going to ask again. I'm not going to lie. Could you just mail it? And then I'll take care of it from there. But I think it has to be physical because basically, it's street dated. They can't sell it. If they break it, they're fine. People could lose their jobs. So basically, he would just give me the game. I would be paying for it cash. And the money would just be extra. So then when they're able to release it, then basically he would be printing out take the cash, boom, finish the transaction and be done. Just don't know if I want to do that. It's a long drive. Yeah. We'll see.
It sounds like that 5 hours. It sounds crazy though.
That baseball day was ridiculous.
If it takes you 5 hours just to get there, yeah, don't do that. You're gonna be angry at yourself. maybe it was a baseball game going on though. Like you make sure you should check that. Make sure you don't get aim or nothing.
I hope not. Let me see if the Dodgers play. Let's see what's going on Thursday. Let me look at the MLB schedule. I'm pretty sure they were on the road. Love how people don't give a shit about teams in SoCal unless they're winning. Oh, now that you're winning, let's go. Ah, shit. I see they're playing in LA Wednesday. Come on. Dodgers, thank you. They're playing the White Sox. No offense, no one should be going to that game.
I don't know nothing about baseball.
White Sox are in full rebuild mode. They're off on Thursday. So there would be no baseball game. I'll think about it. So I know there's a preseason game, so yeah, I'll think about it.
Yeah, I guess we'll call this stream. It was fun.
Yep. Sure.
See you guys next time.
Thank you, Mr. Cole, for coming on. And JB as well. Yep.